In an era of last calls, disappearing V8s, and Ford's own multi-billion-dollar investment in electric vehicles, the Blue Oval has summoned the 2024 Mustang Dark Horse front and center to showcase just how good a good old-fashioned gas-fed pony car can be. The Mustang has so far managed to dodge an extinction-level event, even as it's been joined in the lineup by a Mustang-branded electric SUV, and it's getting busy living even while everyone speculates it might eventually be dying like its Camaro and Challenger competition. So whether you see the pony car arena as uncontested or not, the new Mustang Dark Horse model has landed like it has something to prove anyway. The Dark Horse easily struts about as the alpha stallion of the 2024 Mustang lineup, galloping ahead of the base 4-cylinder EcoBoost and 8-cylinder GT variants with the most powerful 5.0-liter naturally aspirated V8 Ford has ever built. This 4th-gen Coyote uses the same updated valvetrain and twin 80mm throttle bodies as the GT's engine, but it makes the optional active exhaust standard, then adds a forged crankshaft and connecting rods, auxiliary oil cooling, and more aggressive spark timing to bump peak power from 486 horsepower to 500 horsepower at 7,250 revolutions per minute. Peak torque remains the same 418 pounds-to-foot as in the GT with the active exhaust. The extra 14 horses stampeding through the 10-speed automatic to the rear tires send the Dark Horse to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds and on through the quarter mile in 12.0 seconds. Unlocking the quickest run is easy even though only the manual transmission Dark Horse comes with dedicated launch control. You don't need a heavy brake torque in this car. With your left foot hard on the left pedal, you lightly press the throttle and quickly roll into it as you release the brakes. Drag strip mode puts the 10-speed in its most aggressive state with hard upshifts reminiscent of slamming a manual trans into gear. If the 3.7-second 0 to 60 time hasn't fully sunk in yet, let us put it into context for you. That's Shelby GT500-Level acceleration. Yep, we've got a slightly beefed up Coyote going toe-to-toe with the outgoing generation Mustang Shelby GT500 and its 760 horsepower and 625 pounds-to-foot generated by a 5.2-liter supercharged Predator V8. A 2020 GT500 hit 60 miles per hour in the same 3.7 seconds, and among all the Mustangs we've tested, only a GT500 with the expensive carbon fiber track pack has hit 60 miles per hour quicker, in 3.6 seconds, despite having more than 50% greater power than this Dark Horse. Okay, the old GT500 is at least a half a second quicker than the Dark Horse in the quarter mile, but that's to be expected as the power advantage plays out over the longer run. What's clear is that you don't need to spend six figures on a used Shelby to experience a wild pony ride, just pick up a Dark Horse. We imagine a boosted version of the Dark Horse, its Coyote primed and ready with forged internals, is going to be a serious force to be reckoned with rather, when Ford introduces it in some form. Braking distances aren't as sexy as horsepower and acceleration, but if you're going to be fast, you need to stop fast. The Dark Horse has that covered. In fact, it outbrakes every production car we've ever tested. Its 86-foot 60 to 0 mile per hour stop edges out the 2018 Porsche 911 GT2 RS and 2016 Dodge Viper ACR by 1 foot. That 86-foot stop wasn't an anomaly, either. In order, we recorded stops at 92, 91, 90, 88, 87, 90, 86, 89, 88, 90, 91, and 90 feet. The list of cars that match or beat the Mustang's longest 92-foot stop is dominated by Porsche but also includes giants such as the McLaren Senna, the Ferrari SF90 Stradale Assetto Fiorano, and the best Chevrolet Corvettes. It's clear from the results that the 6-piston Brembo front calipers and 2-piece rotors perform better with some heat in them and don't fade. You might think that kind of eye-popping stopping power would be too aggressive anywhere but the track, but the Dark Horse maintains its status as a proper roadworthy sports car with superb pedal feel. The initial travel has a solid cushion that allows for smooth daily driving before stiffening up beyond that with a feel reminiscent of a booster-less stock car, only there's no extreme effort required. The Dark Horse feels at home on the track or street, just be aware of what's behind you before stomping that pedal. The Mustang is capable of outstopping virtually everything else on the road. With standard Magna Ride dampers at each corner, beefier anti-roll bars, functional aerodynamic elements, and Pirelli P0 Trofeo RS tires that come with the optional $4,995 handling pack, the Dark Horse is confident on and off the track. Making its way around our Figure 8 course in 23.7 seconds at a 0.86 grams average proves it has legitimate track skills. Any performance under 24.0 seconds is seriously quick. It held onto the corners at 1.06 grams, only a couple hundredths behind the stickiest Shelby GT350 RS that we've tested, and those cars are 300 pounds lighter than the Dark Horse. That figure 8 lap time means the Dark Horse matches the outgoing Mustang Mach 1 with the handling pack and comes up 0.1 seconds shy of the 200 pounds lighter 2018 Mustang GT Performance Pack Level 2. The Dark Horse is easy to drive hard and pitch into a turn. It's so good, even an open skid pad with no walls ignites the self-preservation instinct to brake early and forces drivers to push themselves to the limit of the car instead of the other way round. The Dark Horse rotates well, powering through the exits of the figure 8, and has a slight but manageable bias toward understeer and steady-state cornering. On the street, the Magna Ride suspension has enough adjustability to tame the ruts and bumps, and even its stiffest setting doesn't feel brutal. This is a street car with serious track chops, not a tube chassis race car with a license plate. Although the steering in the GT feels a bit numb, the Trofeo RS tires are so sticky you can feel them picking up pebbles through the Dark Horse's electrically assisted rack. This might be the most race car component of all. The steering resists braking away from dead straight at city speeds, and cranking the wheel takes effort on the road, but this is the kind of feedback you want on the track. Skipping the handling pack will leave the car with more street-friendly tires, and save a ton of money at tire changes, but the Trofeo RS setup rides just fine if you have plans to bring it to a track. A set of Michelin Sport Cup 2s might make it handle even better in dry environments, but the Pirellis are billed as having better wet performance, and that matters in a street car. The Dark Horse was sure-footed in a summer downpour on a Michigan highway. That's a serious win for performance at this level. My personal history with the Mustang goes back a long way. I began my career upfitting Mustangs with dealerships sold superchargers and performance kits, and let me tell you, if you've bolted a blower on one Coyote, you've bolted one on them all. Quite literally, actually, when you build them by the hundreds. The Dark Horse S650 is so good that even my jaded, bored out of my skull view of the Mustang is excited about this one. The Dark Horse starts at $65,860, and our test vehicle equipped with the handling pack came in at $75,500. That's not an insignificant amount of money, it's about what the last Shelby GT500 started at, yet it is arguably still a bargain for the performance you get. The Mustang continues to get better year after year, and Ford is clearly committed to improving it whether it has competition or not. Even if you are about as tired of seeing Mustangs running around as I was, the Dark Horse will surprise you. I didn't expect a car this great. And it's already working toward filling the hole in Camaro fans' hearts.
We have come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel to help us.